We're live. Fedor Emelinenko versus Frank Mir. Frank Mir, as we know, ladies and gentlemen, is a two-time UFC heavyweight champion, and Fedor is I think Pride's longest-running champion. Two legends in their own right. One from the Wild West era, the era of steroids, the era of Pride, the era of anything goes as long as it's entertaining. The other from, I think, right at the beginning of during his second title reign, his first title reign was before USADA, but that's neither here nor there. This fight is an interesting fight because we have two legends from two different eras going up against each other, and this, to the eyes of many, will prove whether Fedor is really GOAT material or not. And as for Frank, I think he's proven his GOAT status, but this could give him another notch on his belt, so to speak. I feel as though Fedor has a lot to prove with this fight, because aside from the near ultra heavyweights he's faced in the past, and the clear size disadvantage that he's had in these fights, Fedor has yet to beat somebody who was a GOAT in the era after him. And that could be a sign of many things. One may be possible PED use in his prime, which is totally possible, because if you look back in those times, their contracts clearly stated that they didn't test for steroids, meaning they co-signed steroids in a very silent manner. I mean, if you go back to Pride days, you had fighters like Bob Sapp. Bob Sapp in his prime was a science experiment, guys. People don't get that big unless their genes are super genes, you know. I mean, that was clearly steroids, you know. But that's neither here nor there. My question is, can Fedor beat a grappler of Frank Mir's level? We saw him fight Fabricio Verdum. That didn't end well. And Fabricio is probably top 3, if not number 1 grapplers in the UFC today. Frank, I don't think his grappling is at the level of Fabricio's, but I think it's a very high level nonetheless. But Fedor, just like Frank, has always had an issue with fighting people who are physically just monsters. Your Shane Carwins, your Brock Lesnar's, your Bigfoot Silvers, people who are just built on a whole different scale. And this fight will test I feel it will test the very basis of their technique, you know. Fedor's being Sambo and Frank being Jiu-Jitsu. Who is going to come out on top? I don't know, but in this fight, I'm betting on Frank, man. Fedor's been losing fights harder than some people fail at varsity, and that's no joke, man. I mean, he has been on a losing streak, but that doesn't change his GOAT status in my eyes. I just want to see the ghost of Fedor in his prime compete against Frank. Win or lose, I think that will be one of the biggest fights of the year. You know, probably the biggest Bellator fight of the year, other than the finals of the Grand Prix. One way Fedor can win this fight is if he keeps it on his feet. If they go to the ground, I am betting on Frank all day, every day. Fight is one-dimensional in the sense that it's just a striking contest, and I'm willing to bet on Fedor to take the decision, or maybe even a knockout. You know, but we never know, man. You never know with MMA, man. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.